Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, welcome back to the car, welcome back to Bristol, and welcome back to, yes, I'm about 200 miles away from home and in, well, one of the biggest cities that we have in the United Kingdom. We're just going to skip out into Somerset, back into Bristol, then out into Somerset, and then I'm going to have to leave you guys at Gordano, where I will turn the cameras off and switch the music on, assuming these cameras even have any battery left, because this is a few days after driving up, and in those few days what we've done is, well, we met up with Dad, so I've met up with my sister's boyfriend, and seen their new house, and it is lovely. It's a really nice house. They've got a couple of cats who are also really lovely cats, and we've been out. We went out into Bristol Film Festival, which is going on at the moment, and we went to the caves. There's some caves underneath Bristol which were old quarries. They were initially quarries, and then after being quarries they were used for storage, so there was lots of storage going on for things like the ships and stuff. And then like what was happening, what happened was people started to build down from above. So the houses from above, what they did is they built down their cellars, their basements down, and went, oh, there's a load of caves under here. So they walled off sections. So as you're going around, there's like walls, and those are bits of people's basement, and sometimes there's a hole and a crawlway, and it's almost like the catacombs, because there are lots of little crawlways, and they're like, yeah, don't go in there because we won't know you're there and you might get lost. And we had this fun thing where we were all in these caves, and it was just like, no, everyone turn their torches off. Yeah, your eyes aren't going to get adjusted to this because there is no light down here, zero light. So yeah, if you're down here and you have no torch or a flashlight, I guess if you're American, then no, you don't see anything. Which is where we had the cinema. So they set up a cinema in the caves. So like a dirt floor, lots of rock and everything, a big screen, and some like plastic chairs and things. And yeah, so we went down and we watched Misery, which is a Stephen King film, and it's still really good. It's like, why would you go to the cinema to watch an old film? Why would you go to the cinema to watch an old film, Chum? Well, here's the thing. You'd go to watch the cinema, an old film in cinema, for the experience. It is like a really pleasant experience just to do that. Why are these cars turning around? Why are we in the outside lane when we should be on the inside lane? These are questions that a country boy like me has no idea why we're asking. Oh, have they shut the road off? I'm wondering if they've shut the road off ahead. That would be an interesting thing, because that's buses only over there. I would have to Zen navigate through Bristol. I don't know how to Zen navigate through a city I don't live in. All right. So let's see what's going on here. Yep, road is closed. Right, cool. Don't know where I'm going. That's buses only. I need to go kind of in that direction. So we'll go this way until we can find signs to the M motorway. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, no. No, I did not want this. Oh, I do have a GPS in the middle of the car. If I get stuck, I can do that. Okay, cool. So yeah, the film was great. Watching an old film in a cinema is a great experience. You get to experience it with other people. If you never watched it in the cinema originally, then it's a much better time than watching it like at home on a small screen. And I know some people have like 50-inch flat screen televisions, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but that's also not the same experience as like listening to a film in like surround sound and stuff. I really want to keep up with that 4x4 because I think he knows where he's going. So let's do that. Let's see if we can Zen navigate through a housing estate that I've never even knew existed. There's a lot of concrete here as well. Got to keep an eye out for shadows to see if there's any potholes in the concrete. So Range Rover, and I think, oh, that's a Jaguar 4x4. All right, and they're going left. Ooh, slalom run. All right, and then right. Ashton. Well, I know that Ashton is kind of where we need to be, question mark. I think he's following the guy in white, who knows where he's going. We could always Zen navigate if we can find the stadium as well. So yeah, it's been a good time up here. I know I kind of was a bit worried about driving up here in the last vlog, if that even goes up. And I was just like, yep, I'm not entirely sure about this or even what I'm doing. And I always get a little bit nervous coming up to the city because like I said, I'm country folk. I'm used to fields and trees and things. What I'm not used to is this, or any of this. Or following a car which I think is going in the right direction, but I might actually be following him home? Baby, I don't know. Ooh, are we in a bus stop? Are we in a bus lane? There is a sign to the motorway. Okay, cool. I really do want to end up at Gordano, so that's neat. We will scooty in behind this lad, because we will. Sorry, city folk, but I'm not actually that sorry. So if I think I know where I am using internal pigeon, messenger pigeon internal navigation, I think we're still kind of heading in the right direction. And if I aim for those trees, that tree line in the distance, I might be able to hit the same road that I was going to hit anyway. Or not. Exciting. But yeah, this is 200 miles away from where I normally drive around. And there's just, it can get a bit confusing because there's a lot of roads that look the same, a lot of roads in the suburbs that look the same, all other routes right ahead. Okay, yeah, that's the stadium, and we can see the stadium from the road that we need. I really want to be going up through Ashton or Long Ashton to go past Ashton Court. Oh, Western, I didn't see that sign, I didn't read the sign. Those guys are over to the right. I'm going to go this way. I think this is the correct way, because that's that 4x4. 4x4, take me home. Take me home, wheel daddy. Yeah, no, this looks right. This looks correct. So yes, it is. This is exactly where I need to be. Follow the white car. Yes, this is where we came last time. And we went up there. Right, I know where I am. Zen navigation for the win. Ooh, I like it. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. Good, and I think we have priority here, so good. Yeah, and it's all a clean air zone, which is a city folk thing. So clean air zones are definitely like city. There's a lot of cities around the UK which you can't drive old cars through, because if you put out too much CO2 or emissions, then what happens is they straight up charge you. They send a bill to your house, so you get automatically billed. It's 20 along here, and I should really be going a lot slower than I am. Let's do this. Try and set the car to 20. This will be fun. I don't really know. And it's 30 along here. Right, okay, cool. Well, we can do this. 30. Right, good. Excellent. Just double check that, make sure the car has actually picked up on the fact that we are supposed to be doing 30. We are. Bang on the nail. Good. Ooh. And then we have the traffic. It's a different way of life, definitely. But there are some benefits. Like this morning we went out and got breakfast, which was lovely. Ate a little too much. Had a pumpkin spice latte. Why is that a thing? I've never had one before. So it was a latte with like a shot of pumpkin spice in it. It was all right. It was good. So turn all this off. Oh, I think there's roadworks up here as well, which we went past. So that's going to slow everything up. That's okay. That's fine. This route cuts off like a huge section of Bristol, so we don't have to go along motorway. Please don't roll back, my dude. Ooh, I don't want to be getting a Ford Fiesta or Ford Focus out of my bonnet. Not again. Not again. Not after last time. Ooh, we had, I don't even know what that accent is. Pirates? Pirates do come from Bristol. There is a sort of a history of piracy in Bristol, and they did mention Blackbeard, so William Teach drinking in a pub in Bristol, and I'm like, yeah, makes sense. That's the kind of thing that a pirate would have done. Although his life of piracy, oh my lord, wasn't actually that long. It was only like a couple of years. I think he did a year, then got pardoned, like all the other pirates did, and went, I'm going to go back to being a pirate, and then had his head cut off, which kind of cut his career sort of short. But yeah, good to see Dad, good to see my sister. We did talk about anime, so that was a conversation this morning, and about how, live action animes just almost never work, because Netflix did... So they were doing a live action Cowboy Bebop, and it's just like, live action Cowboy Bebop it's okay, but they changed everyone's backstories, they changed locations, they changed the way things look, and it was like, you've made so many changes to the anime, you may as well just make a new story at this point. I didn't dislike it, I did dislike the opening 10 minutes. It didn't look very sci-fi in the first 10 minutes of the first episode, and I think that would have put a lot of people off. If you're making a TV series, if you're writing a book, or if you're doing anything, the first chapter or the first few minutes of whatever you're doing has to be good. It has to be big, bold, and interesting. And if it's kind of slow and boring, if you're trying to be clever with your writing, but it's just not going anywhere, kind of like this traffic, then yeah, it just doesn't work. And so I did read up, because we were talking about Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is one of my favourite animes. It's brilliant. It's a load of 14-year-old kids who are put into giant robot suits with the ghosts of their dead parents in there, but they don't really know that. And then they have to fight angels who are sent down from heaven by God, because God's upset with humans and wants to wipe out humanity. And there's lots of like psychological trauma that goes with that, emotional damage, and it's great, but they do need to be children in those robots for the whole parent angle to make sense. And I think the Americans, like Hollywood, was going to adapt it as a live action film, I think, because Weta Workshop were involved, and Weta Workshop were just like, yes, so we can do the robots, that's fine. But these kids in these sort of like tight-fitting plug suits, we have a problem with that. But they're going to be adults now. So Robert Pattinson was going to be, I think, Shinji. Shinji, who has dad problems and whose dead mum is in his giant robot suit, was going to be played by Robert Pattinson. And instead of being a whiny child, he was going to be like the high school jock football man. And they were going to change Rei Ayanami's name, because it's too Japanese, to like Rose. It's like, so you've got Neon Genesis and you're just going to change everything about it. So there are like green spaces around here, and we talked about there's a lot of festivals and events that Bristol has. So there's a lot of things like the Bristol Harbour Festival, which is in the summer. And what they do is they close off the harbour and a lot of roads around the harbour, and they have lots of street food and stalls and lots of like tent serving beers and like local produce, and then they have events going on in the harbour itself. I think a week or 2 weeks before that they have Bristol Pride, so they have a big pride parade that goes around the Bristol, which is and they have events like music acts and things going on there. I know my sister and my dad have been to that. And then they have the balloon festival, so they have all the hot air balloons and things going up. So yeah, they have a lot of things in Bristol. We're currently in, well, we've just skipped into Somerset, so we're in Somerset now. But yeah, so it's an interesting place. And we did talk about, because Dad was like, well, you should move up here. And my sister was like, yeah, you should move up here. And I'm like, well, like I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would only move up if I either had a partner, like a girlfriend or someone who lived in Bristol, or we needed to both move and get somewhere else out of Cornwall. Or if there was a job offer that I just couldn't refuse. And I said, like, I have been looking at places like Yogscast for like video editing and stuff. You don't want to do like video editing, you don't want to do television. So you don't want to do like Cash in the Attic and stuff like that, because it's basically the same thing over and over and you kind of get a little bit bored. But other than that, yeah, I don't really know. I'd like to get a house and I'd like to get like stuff, but are you awake ahead? Nope, they weren't moving even though the traffic was. I think they must have fallen asleep. That weird effect where you fall asleep and you've got both fingers at your bum and you're playing a kazoo and you're just like, oh, I'm awake now. What's going on? What did you just say? I said nothing and you can't rewind the video. Anyway, yeah, so there is a bunch of stuff that's going on within Bristol that is super nice. Good. I think we're about to go. Or it's three-way lights because they've closed off one of the lanes, which is why everyone's like super slow. So yeah, and I only brought enough power to really do a couple of vlogs. I did say we could attach a load of USB cables to the cameras and do like a 4-hour vlog on the way home. Normally the journey is like 4 hours. But with all these roadworks currently, the journey is going to take like 6 hours, unfortunately. So an extra couple of hours, maybe even 7 hours. It's not great. It's not great. But I did buy this particular car. So I bought the Toyota CHR Hybrid, and I bought it because it was comfortable to sit in for long periods of time. And when you are sitting, the engine is off and you can move on battery power, and you've got air conditioning, and it was just like, yeah, I may as well spend money on a car that is as comfortable as your living room, I think. So that's how it is. That's how it was. Kind of neat. Yeah, as I say, you're letting the DPD man pull out. The parcel man is pulling out, which is fine. Good. So Somerset, Bristol into Somerset. I think next time we're going to be home. We're going to be back in Cornwall. Tell you what though, since we have red lights, I'm going to leave it there for the time being. So if you do like these little vlogs, do leave it a little like, leave a subscribe. If you do subscribe, dingle the bingle if you want notifications. Don't dingle the bingle if you don't want notifications. And I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.